here we are. For the final time, we are going to analyze my POV from step 6 of the Trackmania Grand League, the 3rd season. The group stage is coming to an end. We have one final step. And so far the season, you probably know it, hasn't been going very well for me. Even though I've done steady progress in terms of pace, I've improved my driving a lot. My general performance has been going stonks upwards. But there has always been this 1 or 2 little errors that made me lose all my points. And now I've basically been sitting on the hot seat, where I am on 13th place, tied with Papu. And we're both, with our position, we would both be in the relegation. Which is bad. Or well, in the relegation match, which is called head to head. Yo, good night, Cypher. So, that is something we obviously don't want to be in, or I don't want to be in. I don't know if Papu wants to be there, probably not. But I decided that this was a bad thing. So, this was my final chance of making it out of these bottom 4 in the overall standings. And I had to give it all. So once again, we're going to play 6 maps with 6 laps each, and we have 2 new maps as well. 2 new maps. One of them has been quite controversial. You will see it later. I'm not going to give away too much, but one of the maps is pretty controversial, while the other one is just straight up super difficult. So we're going to see that later. We're going to start with Whoops, which is a map I really wanted to redeem myself on. Because both times we've played this map, in step 4 and step 5, I've made a mistake. And not only was it one mistake, but I've always made the same mistake of mistiming this jump here. So here you go up the ramp and you have to release. Look, I actually did it again in the warm-up. Actually unbelievable. So this jump here, where you have to let off the gas in the perfect moment for the perfect amount to land smoothly in the slope. And if you don't do that, if you get a bounce by landing too early, or if you fly too far, then you're dead. Like, you're not gonna have enough speed to pass the rest of the identity. And for those unaware, identity is like the part of the map that sticks out, and that gives the map its name. So here in this case, the map is called Whoops, and these whoops, they refer to motocross whoops, like these bumpy dirt paths, basically. So yeah, we're kicking it off here, and I, similarly to the previous steps, I haven't really played these old maps a lot, because the new maps took a lot of effort, they took a lot of time for me to learn, and that's where I obviously put the most emphasis on. However, I did do some de-rusting on these maps, and I really wanted to redeem myself on this one. And redeeming myself meant that I just wanted to get through without a mistake, without fucking up the identity. That was my big goal. In my practice, I've actually fucked up multiple really good 6-lappers that were not world record pace, but like 1.5 seconds behind, which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it's just you know, time attack. What can you do? So yeah, we're going through the first lap here. I already had a bit of struggle, but struggling to get the speed. But at the end, it was all good. Saved it, and a solid first lap right now, putting me on 4th place. We see Evon in the lead. That's actually something we haven't seen that often. Evon, unfortunately, not with a very good season at the moment. Losing a lot of points and also not having the pace. Evon played very good in Season 2, actually, but this season, not sure why, but he is trailing behind the pack a little bit, which, yeah, it happens. It happens. Let's see if he's going to be able to bounce back in this step. But, yeah, so far, solid. We're, of course, now all going for the high line in the ice. And it looks like we have... I forgot what I wanted to say. Fuck. We have all adapted that high line. We have all adapted the high line. This was a bit bouncy again, but we made it. Keeping enough speed. That's good. That's good. And I've even gained a position. So it was a bit of a back and forth. We see now Bren taking over the lead. Not sure if Evon crashed or something. I don't know, because I didn't put my interface on. At this point, I was just very happy to see that 03 on my car. Because that's something I have seen a few times in the season, but it's always exciting to drive a good lap and being able to actually compete. Now I'm even going up to second, so I actually snagged on someone here. Not sure who that was. Quickly tapping the brake, because you can actually be too fast. Coming out of that ice part, you can actually get so much speed from the ice that you fly off afterwards. Or that the grippy 180 turn on the dirt doesn't grip you anymore. Things like these can actually happen. So I'm sitting here on second place being like, okay, cool, I like it here. I like it here. But taking a look at the scoreboard, I have already... I have a 1.2 second deficit to Bren. Like, Bren is on a mission. After half the race, he's 1 second ahead of second. So, Bren definitely really fast. Then I had Carl Jr. right behind me. Link actually doing really well. Link on 4th place. He's also a bit like Evon, where he didn't have the pace, unfortunately. But Link on 4th. Then we have Pack, Spam, Kappa, all within reach. And we see Scrappy and Tween already having fallen back a little further. But yeah, 2nd place. I mean, that's pretty cool. Definitely happy with that so far. Let's keep going. Not let the nerves get me. But then again, this is only map 1, so you don't have any point loss. You just accumulate, you just collect the points that you get from your position. And 2nd place would be worth 14 points. So right off the bat, 14 points. Which is insane. That would be the best start into a step for me so far in this season. I've had... I think my best map 1, what was it? I think 3rd or 4th, I don't know, something like that. So a 2nd place would be a fantastic step into potentially even getting into the playoffs. Because at the moment the overall standings, I think I needed like 50 or 60-ish points to actually move up to 8th place overall and make it into the playoffs. Right now I'm sitting on 13th, as I said, together with Papu. And we needed a good chunk of points. So basically a really big step today to make it into the playoffs. Or to at least get close. We were both aiming for that. And I think most people are aware that Papu has the pace. Papu has had a terrible season as well. He's been just as unlucky as me. There is a spreadsheet by the community where stats are being pulled. Stats, for example, average position, percentage of points lost, or also alternative point repartitions, such as the leaderboard without point loss, or without the 50%, 100%, or with, I don't know, dynamic point repartition, stuff like that. And yeah, Papu and me have really been cucked hard. It's actually crazy. We're now approaching lap 6, and I'm still on 2nd place. Just saying, that is pretty sick. Question: why aren't you all air braking for the jump into the multi-lap on this track? Good one. Let's actually scroll back. So this is the jump in question. The reason why, for example, here you can air brake. Here I did air brake, for example, but you can also choose not to air brake, and the reason is simply that you land earlier in the slope. Air braking is pretty much only faster when you have a really extreme landing, when you're about to land really aggressively on your front tires on a flat surface, or really aggressively with your back tires on a flat surface. That is one of the main advantages of an air brake. But here, in this case, we land in a slope, a downwards slope, which means if I let my wheels dip down, they will touch the ground earlier, and therefore I will also be able to accelerate earlier. And the same thing goes here. If I were to air brake, I would touch the ground a little later, and therefore I would lack a bit of speed. It's only a thing of like a few kilometers an hour, But sometimes you actually don't want to air brake. So here in this case, for example, I always tried to let my wheels dip down. Of course, not super much, but a little bit, and you can at least gain a few hundreds. And in a race like this, every 100th matters. Yoho, D-Main XD, thank you for continuing your gifted subscription. Awesome. Thank you very much, man. So this is lap 6 and I'm still on 2nd place. I've kind of had a lonely race, actually. I've had quite a lonely race, and it's rare to say that I'm lonely on 2nd place. Like, where have we come? Where have we come to? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Going through the ice the final time, making it through again. And we have this right drift. Taking it conservatively enough. Jumping into the dirt. Then find yourself as far right as possible to minimize the bounce. And here I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So I braked to get the reactor boost. And then finish with a 6:28.5. Where I have gifted Carl Jr. his 2nd place. So again, I didn't have a clean run on whoops. Again, I fucked up this release into the slope. Again, I messed it up. It's incredible. But this time, at least I was able to save it, because I was able to anticipate it early enough. This time I knew. This time I knew that I didn't have enough speed, and that I would have to wobble around to keep my car under control. So I decided to just hit the brakes, catch that reactor boost, which is conveniently placed to get back from a shady situation like this one. And I was able to at least salvage 3rd place. We have Spam right behind me. What's my PB? Actually, this is my PB. Actually, I drove PB here. I think my PB was a 6:28, but a high 6:28. So I actually PB'd. But as I said earlier, I've had a lot of attempts here. That would have been 6:25, 6:26, but I always messed them up. We see Bren finishing with a 3.7 second advantage. Look at that. This is one of the biggest leads we have seen in the entire in the entire season, I think. Bren winning with a 6:24, which is almost world record. So this is mental, really, really sick. Nobody stood a chance against Bren. Gwen winning the fastest lap time, 103.37, which is also really quick. However, Gwen only in 14th place, so he probably played it a bit too risky. However, still some good points here for me. 3rd place. That is how a step can begin. Sir Harold with a brand new Prime Gaming subscription. Thank you very much, man. Wow. So many new Prime subs. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the emotes in the chat. And Flight Phoenix. 3 months of a streak. Thank you very much, man. So we're coming to map number 2. And on map number 2, I was like, okay, let's just get this over with. Because map 2 is reversing. And reversing, you probably know my story already, but in the beginning when this map was released, I was like, yo, sick map. Really good. I was so happy. Because I was vibing with this map. And I had really good pace. But yeah, then I think I came to the point where I overplayed this map a little bit. So my pace became shit again. And then people also found another strat for the backwards landing, which I didn't bother practicing, by the way. So you will see me do the same shit again. I didn't want to waste my precious practice time on learning something that's only map 2. Because this is, again, like map 1, just a map where you collect points, nothing else. So I didn't put too much emphasis into this map. Just wanted to get this done with and then move on with the other maps, which are, of course, a lot better for me. But, of course, there are some valuable points in this one as well, and I know that if I just play it safe, which is what I, for example, did in the previous step. I got 8th on this one, with a, average lap, I suppose. It wasn't fantastic, but I got 8th. So I know that if I do this again, I'll probably end up around the same spot. Especially given the fact that probably no one really bothered playing this one anymore. I would assume that with a similar pace, I could maybe get even better than 8th. So yeah, I just played my game and kind of see what I get. Haftbefehl with a gifted subscription, the first gifted sub in the channel. Thank you for the gifted sub to NVE96. Thank you very much, man. Also, hello everyone in the chat. Hello Aiko, hello Armageddon, hello Bandin. Good evening to you. Also, actually, yeah, let me put on the song overlay so you actually know what's playing in the background. Some juicy Liquidity tunes in the background. How did New Cam 3 work out for you? I didn't actually bother at all with New Cam 3. I'm still using the old one. You will see it later on Arctic Split. I didn't bother learning the New Cam 3, which is the internal, like, cockpit kind of camera. I didn't bother with that one. Alright, so, kicking it off, 6 laps on reversing, built by Thompson. Let's see what we can do here. Yo, Pizza Phil. There's a new Cam 3, yeah. I mean, what new is like relative because it's been added with the release of Trackmania 2020. So it's not exactly new, but I guess it is unique in some way. Just to avoid confusion. In case you're wondering, is there like really a new Cam 3? Most of you probably saw it already. Anyway, we're coming up to the first backward section here. Here you gotta try to jump as low as possible and then slide on the grass, which is a speed slide. This is a technique that allows you to accelerate a lot faster in backwards gear. And this section is built in a way that it's only faster, or it's only possible to pass it backwards actually. If you try to drive this forwards, you're not gonna make it. It doesn't work. So a very genius map building here. But yeah, grass speed sliding, or speed sliding in general in backwards, that is another technique. It hasn't been used in Trackmania Grand League maps before, so this is the first time. And that's why I, at first, was pretty stoked about this one. Because I've already played a good chunk of backwards maps in the past, and I know the mechanics. But yeah. So far, it didn't do me that well. But we'll see. Maybe today is gonna be the day. Swooping past 2 people in one jump, that was cool. Went from 11th to 9th. This was a little bit high. And yeah, you can clearly see that I'm trying to slide on purpose. You see the skid marks there on the grass. And that's exactly what you want to do. And yeah, we're going into lap 3 and I'm on 8th place. So this is kind of exactly what I expected with my pace. Similar to what we've had last step. If I just drive my pace, as I said, I know that I was gonna get 8th, so at the moment, no big surprise for me. We have a raid from Spam, my dude. Thank you very much for the raid. Take a seat, everyone. You're about to witness this whole step again from Riolu Trackmania trademark TM POV. Welcome, everyone. Let's make it a good one. I'll take you on a ride, and this ride is currently on 11th place. Never mind 8th. So look how close it was. At this point, one good turn can decide about like a few positions already, like instantly. That's how close it was. We have a brand new sub here by Rebirth X. Tier 1 subscription. Big hype for you. Thank you very much, man, for the support. Thank you very much for the sub. Enjoy the emotes. So look how close it is still. 8th, 9th. And since we got the new Riolu 9 emote going, this is almost the perfect opportunity to make use of it. Oh, never mind. Dude, I'm such a Pepega actually. Why did I respawn so late? So this is the same mistake that happened to me when we played this map the first time. Reversing has been played the first time in step 4, and already on step 4 I bonked the exact same checkpoint pillar. And I've been desperately trying to pass this jump. This one here. This gap. Until I realized, oh fuck, I'm not gonna make it. So I had to go for the standing respawn and my race was over. So after a very, very, very good map 1, I find myself making a humongous error again. So there's no Trackmania Grand League step without a huge bonk by me. So this race was over, which means we can speed this one up a little bit. There's nothing really exciting going on at the moment. Luckily it's only map 2. I tried to not let this get to my head. We've already had maps like this where I made crucial mistakes, but it's been early on in the stage. It's been early on in the step, so it didn't really matter too much. Of course, it's lost points. Potential points are down the drain. But yeah. Speeding it up here. I actually passed 2 people who crashed even more. Pack and Massa died even harder than me. So in this moment, I actually, like, I turned on the interface and I had to keck for a short moment. I had to keck, but not very long. Because at the end of the day, I was still 14th. Final lap. So there we see it. Massa and Pack dead. NFS player with 27 months of prime gaming. Keeping the support going. Cheers. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, last lap. I knew nothing's gonna happen here anymore. There was no way I was gonna get much more than this. But then again, it didn't really matter too much. The difference between, let's say, 14th place and 8th place would be like 3 or 4 points, so who gives a crap anyway, right? I would rather lose 3 or 4 points instead of my confidence. So I'm finishing with a 6:23, the winning time a 6:12. Today, or well, generally my pace on this map is a solid 6:15, 6:16. So yeah, not much than 6th, 7th, 8th would be possible here for me. So yeah, what can you do? It's all good. It's all good. Alrighty, so the first 2 maps are over, and now the spiciness level is being put up a little bit. For the moment, after the first 2 maps, we see Gwen in the lead in the step ranking with 25 points, Bren 24, Spam 22, Carl Jr. 20, Papu with 18. So you have to keep in mind, Papu is very important to look at, because Papu has the same points like me overall. And we're both fighting to get out of the bottom 4. So Papu, we have to take a look at. He's at 18 points, so he has 3 points more than me. I'm on 7th place, tied with Aurel. Link is behind me. Link playing very good right now. Very happy for him. Evon as well. Scrappy 13, Pack 13, Kappa 12, Afi 10, and then a bit of a weaker step for for Mada and Massa. Only 4 and 3 points each, so they're having a bit of a struggle getting the pace up for this battle. Saucin 13, thank you for the resub for the 4th month. Welcome back. Next season, a mod for not showing your position number. I'm pretty sure you could make that happen already with Open Planet, but I don't know if that's legal. I have no idea. I would personally love for the car position, or for the position to not be displayed on the car. I'm still of the opinion that it distracts me. But yeah, what can you do? We're now coming up to Clash time. Yay! Speed 4x. Let's go. Clash time. Yay! Fantastic. So once again, we are going to play Clash time with the live Twitch chat. So this time we have an even easier map. Now we have a circle with only tarmac corners and 1 ice corner. And of course, everything and absolutely everything goes wrong for Riolo TM. We see Evon, Scrappy, Aurel, Spam, you know, all people are driving. And my car is facing the wall. So I'm getting lapped here, by the way. I'm getting lapped. Look at these drivers passing us. Until Virtual's Twitch chat managed to spin the car around and drive the map in reverse. We have not seen this yet in the history of Clash time. So this is the first time. And it actually worked out pretty well. And even the ice section, yeah, ended up working great. So we spun on the ice section. Back and forth we go until chat finally managed to cross the finish line and complete one lap. Yeah, insane. But yeah, that's it already. Let that sink in. Of course, it's very difficult. Virtual's chat is one of the most crowded ones out of all TMGL players, so it's harder with more people to coordinate the inputs. Especially when there is a humongous delay, not only from the broadcaster to the viewers, but also there's a delay from the broadcaster to the car. So there's like double delay stacked. Incredible, so it's very difficult. At least we did pretty well and finished one lap backwards. That is going to be going into the history books of Clash Time. I don't know who's going to read these history books, but yeah, what can you do? Statsco with a brand new tier 1 subscription. So many new subs, man. I'm really happy. Thank you very much for all that support. That is so awesome. So many new subs. Enjoy the emotes, everyone. So we're now coming to the semi-final phase. And this means if you place 9th or worse, you will lose 50% of your points. And that is bad. So my goal is to stay out of that. And with Arctic Split being map 3, that was not too difficult of a task, because this is one of my better maps. In the previous step, I did have a small blunder here, but I was able to keep my points. And generally spoken, I do have a very good pace. I do have more confidence in this identity than most other people, because I'm not sure who of you watched the race from an outside perspective last week, but I was probably one of the fastest players here in this identity, in this set of jumps. Very difficult, very particular, very precise identity here, where you have to be absolutely spot on with your setup. Otherwise, it's easily gonna go wrong by either overturning your car in the air, or by just misaligning or doing everything, you know, wrong. So this was a good map for me. I'm generally very good with identities that require precision. So I'm happy that this map is being played again, that it once again has a crucial role in the step by being a map in the semi-final phase. And after 2 good maps, I think this is a good opportunity, or well, 2 good maps, let's say 1 good map and 1 trash map. This is a good opportunity for me to gain some points again, because I really need points. And I gotta make sure that the direct opponents in the overall standings, which are of course Papu, Scrappy, Evon, Link and Tween. These are like all the players that are within reach that can all possibly do some damage. But in the warm-up, so far, very good. Very good warm-up, clean, solid, looking good. And we are going into the live round. Fluaputza with a Prime Gaming subscription. Thank you very much. That is a fantastic nickname you got there. Awesome. And thank you, Statsco, for the positive comments. Alright, so here we go. Lap number 1. We're starting with a beautiful ice slide where you can be in the wrong gear, where you can even fall off to the inside. I think it's happened to 2 people in the last step. I think Tween and Afi, they fell off at the start last time. So you might think the start is easy and it's just an ice slide, lol, but it can actually go wrong pretty bad. Bacon Hunter with 7 months. Thank you. Oh, Gwen fell off this time? Oi. Yeah, I'm telling you, this start is not easy. This start is not easy. You can laugh about that, but it's actually hard. Because once you find your car be slightly overturned, then it's kind of hard to save it. Anyway, here we go. Bit of a wonky first jump I had to release, and I also did an air brake. But that was not too terrible. And good second, third jump, and we're up to 4th place. Solid first lap. Could have been better, but also could have been worse. And that's what we have to, you know, be very careful about. 2nd place! Hey, we've had that already. 2nd place with Brendan first. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, wait. Never mind. Look at me go. I was actually so surprised when I saw the 0-1 on this car. Look at that Riolo face peeking through the scenery. Look. Look. Riolo. Nice. Look at that. Look at that gamer. First place. Let's keep going. And to be honest, I didn't feel that much pressure even at this moment, because I was confident in my driving on this map. It wasn't like I was super surprised either, because my lap was good. Like, I drove fast. Not perfect, but fast enough for this competitive environment. So I was like, yo, nice. Let's just keep going. And I didn't really let myself get intimidated by the 0-1. Because, well, this was a bit shit. I had to correct it, but I didn't hit. That's the most important thing. Don't freaking hit the pillar. Because if you hit the pillar, you're gonna get the acceleration penalty. And then you lose all the speed on the uphill. That is terrible. So, reflexes like a cat, ladies and gentlemen. Reflexes like a cat. And not a dead cat, like an alive cat. Saving it there, away from the pillar. Then, I drop down to second place and I see Papu. I see Papu, my direct opponent, smiling at me. I was like, okay dude, Papu, it's on. Of course I didn't want to like go full risk. But now, of course, I wanted to keep up. Because it seemed like I have the pace to win the race. To win the entire, to win this entire thing. Also, Melinator with a brand new Prime subscription. Thank you very much for the support. So many subs. Once again, I can only repeat myself. That is epic. Alright, so I'm chasing Papu. And he's gone. So, Riolo Trackmania is back on first place. We are leading Trackmania Grand League Step 6, Map 3, Arctic Peak. No, how's this called again? Arctic Pool. No, Arctic Split. So we're on first place right now. Also, Chris Regan, 92. Another second month Prime. Thank you very much, man. I really love this map. It's so enjoyable. This is exactly my type of jam. It's my marmalade. Because then again, identities like this, where you have to do precise jumps or generally be precise, that's exactly my alley. I like that a lot. And also the rest of the map, I found myself to be pretty confident. It's not your typical like super smooth map. It is, let's say, a bit rough on the edges. It has a lot of harsh transitions. It has a bit of a Nadeo character to this, to be honest. Like a bit of a Nadeo map character. And as a player myself who came from the Nadeo scene, this felt very good. It felt very good. So we're still in the lead. No one's coming close. I'm still first. Look. Look at this. And we're popping another one. Chuck, another one. Coming up to the jump. Land on the boost. Chuck, and another one. Making it here without any effort. This is so effortless. And we're almost approaching lap 5. And I have a 7/10 lead over Afi. But surprisingly, not many mistakes have been made. So this race was still very close. Papu, Peck, Mada, Carl, Massa, Kappa, all within 2.5 seconds. So this was a very close race. The previous time we've played this map, a lot of people bonked. But yeah, we're popping. I like this. Gwen died really badly. But yeah. We have to look at Riolo. Look at that face again. Lurking over the ice turn. Look at Riolo. Oh god, this ice part was so bad. I went too tight. I gotta drift a bit wider. So at this point I wasn't sure if I was maybe gonna lose a bit of my lead. It went down to 0.5. And I think Afi got it pretty good there. Monk. I almost died. Look at it again. I almost lost grip. That was so close. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Drift. And I just barely gripped back. So I could have actually died here. I don't know what I was thinking. But this mistake is now actually not gonna make me lose my position. But then here, this was kind of a domino effect. So here I had shit speed. And because of my shit speed, I also didn't have enough speed to jump. Normally I always jump into this corner, but this time I didn't have enough speed to jump. So I kept grip and I had to turn like harder to get around. And that was really slow. Like I lost so much here, I lost everything. My entire lead went down the pooper in that section. And yeah, that's pretty sad. Because I think at this point I just tried to save it a little bit. Knowing that I could still win the race. Dude, look, I dropped to third. Insane. I knew I could win the race still. But I also didn't want to risk that much. So I was in this peculiar situation where, you know, I'm tempted to risk more, but I didn't want to. You know? I didn't want to. And then here it kinda died because my ice was bad. So here I could say goodbye to my potential victory because I really didn't get that ice very nicely. Yo, Papu, thanks man. Thank you for the nice comment. Good to see you. So I'm sitting here on third place now. We see Pack now all of a sudden in the lead. And I'm 0.4 behind. So Pack and Papu, first and second place. Then I'm on third with Afi behind me. So if I keep saving like this, I could maybe even drop to fourth. And that's something I didn't want. I don't want to drop to fourth after having led the race for so long. But yeah, apart from that, this race is pretty safe. Just don't bonk anymore. Just take it easy. Chris Regan. I'm not sure if I gave you the shout out, but if I didn't, then here it is. Thank you for 2 months of Prime and Flosdra with a brand new tier 1 subscription. Wow! Thank you very much. Also a very warm welcome to you. So the final lap. I was hoping maybe something's gonna happen. I did pass Afi back, so I'm now up to third place again. Just survived the identity. I was low-key hoping for this 03 to turn into an 02. But so far, nothing happened. I turned on the interface and that's it. Afi got wrecked by Pack in the end by 300ths of a second. So this was Afi's possible first victory, also for me. So Afi and me have not won a map so far in this season. And it was our opportunity. We sadly got scammed by 300ths and by 3/10 respectively. Papu dropped to 5th, but all good as he was able to still keep his points. Pack winning, another €100 in the pocket, winning with a 7:01.3. So that is a solid time. However, the world record on this is like 6:57, so I think it gives you an idea of how much you can risk on this map, and it pays off. Risking really, really pays off, but it's also, you know, one slight miscalculation and you're dead. So do you want to take this risk? I don't. So you might say I took it maybe a bit too risky in the identity, but it was, for me personally, a very safe, like I felt comfortable traveling at that speed. Because I knew exactly how my car is gonna behave. So for me, it wasn't difficult at all. So we see some upsets already in the bottom. Spam getting his points cut in half, and also Spam is in a very dire situation where he's 9th in the overall season. And he needs a good step to make it into the playoffs. So right here, we see 11 points being deducted from his PayPal account. Also Bren, minus 12. Gwen, also big point loss, and also Aurel. That is very unfortunate. So there's Aurel finishing on dead last. After map 3, the standings look as follows, and this is not the first time we see this, ladies and gentlemen. I am on 3rd place in the overall step ranking. I've been there a few times already. Basically, the past steps, I've always been at 3rd place at some point throughout the step. That's how good my driving is. and how good my steps are. Let's keep it. Peck 33, Carl Jr. with 30, so these two, you know, you can just ignore Peck and Carl Jr. at this point. They're boring. And we have Papu. Fucking Papu. Papu and me are like the same person. We both had almost the same amount of points lost so far in the entire season. We had almost the same percentage of points lost in the entire season. We both had the exact same points going into step 6. And now we have the same points after 3 maps in the final step. 27 points. Fucking Papu, dude. Papu and me have been by far the most cucked players in the season. It is ridiculous. Then we have Afi, 24. Scrappy, 21. 19 for Kappa and 17 for Gwen. So far, good looking step for us here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going and go into step map 4. The season rankings are really, really close. Yeah, also, Papu and Riolo have the same amount of letters. We both have 5 letters. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Map number 4. We are going on to Whirlpool. Do you listen to music during TMGL? Yes, I do. I do. However, I'm listening to copyrighted music, so that's why you can't hear game audio. Because it's all it's all on the same audio track. Maybe I'll fix that up in the future. So we can have game sound, but different music. Yeah, anywho, we have Whirlpool coming up. And unfortunately, on this map, I did lose my points last time. Yo, take care, Cryptex. Hey, there we have another similarity. Good one, Pingu. Papu and Riolo both end with a U. So at this point, you could possibly ask yourself, are we the same person? Have you ever seen Papu and Riolo in the same room? Only a few people in here can answer that question. Only a few people can answer that. Man, Papu, my dude. Papu is a nice guy. So yeah, Whirlpool, to, you know, continue with my sad story on this map. I have lost my points on this map the first time we played it. Not because I was too slow, but because, I'm not sure, I think it was by the end of lap 4. I had a no-slide in this corner, so I didn't have enough speed to make this jump up to the platform. So I had to slow down and take the route from lap 1 with the booster. Crazy. Very, very unfortunate. Luckers Turbo. I know that guy. I know that guy. Thank you for resubbing. Welcome back. So yeah. This map, I wanted to redeem myself, because I had the pace on this map. However, last time, no luck. Let's make it better this time. Especially because we have a lot of points on the line. Once again, 9th or lower will lose half their points. Let's go. Very good start. Nice and precise. And look who's on first again. Oh, yeah, we don't want volume here. Look who's on first again. Riolo. Good start. Absolutely popping. Good start. But shit speed here, so I got snacked again. I got snacked again, but good start. This is a very pace-based map. It's very fast. For example, here, this mid part, you gotta carry all that speed you can. One of the faster maps in this season, built by Firestorm. This was sadly a very poor drift. I think I even lower geared. But yeah, then we have the identity. And here it is. I was like super insecure about this one actually. I was super insecure about this identity. Because while I knew how to get through without too much trouble, you can really risk a lot and also gain a lot here. And I didn't feel very comfortable. So unlike the previous identity, where I felt comfortable risking, here I didn't. here I didn't feel very comfortable. Because one of the problematic aspects about this map is that you can't really see shit ahead of you. You can't see when to exit, you can't see anything. However, we are 6th at the end of lap 1. I did drop a little behind in the middle of the identity, but then I came back strong with a good exit out of the final one. So yeah, I just tried to keep my pace here. Trying to keep my pace. Winning this map was out of question, because I saw some players be giga fast on this. So yeah, I just wanted to survive this one and keep my points. On a good day I can be fast on this, but it's also pretty easy to, you know, make a mistake. And as I said before, this is a very momentum-based map, so if you make one mistake, let's say you crash here, then you have to crawl up the hill with 1 kilometer an hour and you're dead. Like, you're definitely out of the race. Almost every step on this, or almost every section of this map can ruin your race. And that's funny because it's a rather simple, basic map, layout-wise. But that's why it's also so punishing. And that shit really gets me scared. But yeah, that was solid, all good. Try to make sure to jump a bit higher this time. Make sure that I get the drift. And yeah, I'm on 8th. For the moment, Gwen in the lead. Gwen also won last time on this map, I think. And here it is again. I mean not Gwen's face. But yeah, 9th. There it is. We've been waiting a long time to see this. It took me 4 maps to get this 9th place on my car. I'm sure people were like, hey, this can't be Riolu. This is fake. He's not on 9th. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. I got you. 9th place, ladies and gentlemen. But nothing's lost yet, obviously. I mean, just needed a few good corners and we're up a few positions again. This race was probably very close. Let's actually take a look here. So we see very close up front between Pac and Gwen, tying, or well, almost tying for that first place. Papu on 3rd, Bren, Link. Also, dude, look at Link. Like, Link is fast. Link is fast. Incredible. Very good step for Link so far. Kappa, Carl Jr., Scrappy, and then I am only 600 behind. So I knew that I was still very well in for keeping my points. And then a lot of mistakes already that have happened to Tween, to Arel, to Massa, Spam, and Afi. They are all out already. 100% dead, out. Cucked. Again. But I'm still in. Mada, Evan, maybe as well. But I knew I was still in, so I just gotta keep going here. Sonoman with 32 months. That is some long support, buddy. Thank you very much. Is Evan a streamer? No, Evan does not stream. Evan just likes to play. And he's freaking good at that. Alright, crawling up to 8th. This was very bad, very high. So I wasn't surprised to see that 9. But then 7. I was like, okay dude, 7, 8. Oh, this was bad. This is like so scary. I always got a heart attack. 105.5 lap time. I was not very happy with these lap times. So to complete my first thought about this identity, it was very scary to get through that identity because you never know how someone else is maybe gonna pass you with like a super inside, super deep line in the toilet, you know, kinda rough. So I expected to always lose positions with my slightly safer approach, but yeah, this time it actually did work out. I'm on 7th. Equal with Scrappy. Link has died, unfortunately. We see Link, who was in the green, now in the red, unfortunately. And I'm only 1.2 seconds behind the leader. Which is interesting, because I drove a 105.5 lap time. And very often in practice, I drive low 105, 104 even. So my pace is honestly pretty jack shit. Like, I'm pretty slow. I'm saving it a lot, actually. But so are the others. So are the others. But then again, just keep my points. Fighting for map win was fun in the previous one, but on this one, no thanks. This map is too much of a butt clench. And yeah, you can argue the previous one is also bigger of a butt clench, but I found this one to be maybe even more difficult than the previous one. Getting through this part here, we're in lap 4. Very good. Very momentum based, up the hill. Every kilometer an hour matters, as I said. This was a bit of a wobbly landing, but all good. Up we go. Still on 7th. As long as that 7 stays on my car, I'm good. This was a bit high. So this one now ended up very shaky. 261 kilometers an hour. Do you think I'm gonna make this? That is the question I'm asking you. Do you think with 261 speed, I'm gonna make this jump? Do you think I'm gonna make this? Let's find out. I made it. I saw my death. I wrote my testimony here. I wrote my testimony. Because, again, let's look at it again. Let's look at it again. Here is my mistake. Look at the skid marks from the previous attempt. Look at the previous attempt. I went way wider, and with that wide drift, I can, you know, keep enough speed for the jump. And it worked flawlessly in the previous laps. And this was basically what ruined me in the previous step. In the previous step, I got a no slide, but here I drifted too tight. And I adjusted my drift like a lot. Look at my tires, actually. Look at my tires as we go through that part. Look at it again. Look at my wheels, like I'm always correcting. And at this point, I was like, fuck. Should I go for it? And I went for it. In the previous step, I knew I wasn't gonna make it. Like, it was never gonna be enough. But this was an edge case. This was an edge case. So I went for it. And I made it. This was a gamble. This was a 50-50 gamble. This would have been either death, and I clip the edge and it flips my car, or I barely make it. So this was an edge case. And luckily the gamble paid off this time. Luckily the gamble paid off this time. I had 261 at the finish line, and 261 normally wouldn't be enough, you know. So I went for it. I clipped the edge. I got acceleration penalty actually. And I gained a position because Papu died. What a roller coaster of events here, ladies and gentlemen. I fucking gained. Well, I lost it again, but what? Like, at this point, I was so done with this race already. I had to go for it, man. I had to go for it. And the race was not over. Because, as you can see, we are in lap 5. And everyone is right up my ass, and also Papu is not too far behind either. I knew that I had to keep up the pace and also not save a lot. Because what broke my neck last step, after having made the mistake, after having, after being forced to go down, I had to risk a lot. And in lap 6, Identity, I drove way too safe. I drove too high, and everyone passed me. Everyone passed me. So I didn't want to do the same mistake again. So I just tried to risk it a bit more to secure my position. This was decent. A bit too high, but everything was under control. Then here, you see the difference in the skid marks, right? This was lap 4 Andy, and I'm lap 5 Andy. Now going a lot wider, 282, 20 kilometers an hour extra. And with that, you can of course easily make it. My god, what a butt clench this was. When I was mid-air, in that short jump, I was like, oh no. And also in this moment, I was like, oh no. 8th place, only 299 at this freewheeling. You can get like 310 or even more. So I kinda saved it a little bit at that point. Yeah, 8th place, man. 8th place. 7th place. This sick, or even 6, dude, look at this. I gained. I went from the sweaty 8th place up to 6th. 5th, I mean. Woo! Oh, 8th. Never mind. 6th! Ah! 5th! Dude, what is happening? And I finished on 5th. Like, we need to watch this again, man. We need to watch this again. Look, I can't wrap my head around this, man. I can't wrap my head around this. So, 6, 5, 8, 6, 5. And then I turned my interface on. I was like, oh, let this be enough. And I finished on 5th with a 6:36, which is arguably not the best time. But holy shit, man. I couldn't believe my eyes. This was like the worst thing for me to happen. This was the worst fucking thing. Because seeing these positions swap this often, it fucking plays with your mind, because every time you pass a checkpoint it shows a different number and you're like, hey, what did I do wrong now? Why did I lose 3 places in one jump? Or why am I gaining 2 again? And I think that shows how different the lines were. How different the lines were in that identity. Some people going low, but then they had a high exit. Then people like me, we went a bit higher to keep higher average speed. So, dude, what a fiesta this was, man. Brand winning with a 33, that's a good time. Certainly not impossible for me to beat that, so that is a pace I could match. But I just took it way too safe at some points. And then, of course, I also had this one clip, the identity, not the identity, but this start-finish jump. Holy moly. Pack on second, Kappa, Carl, Riolu, Scrappy, Evan, Gwen. And then Papu, unfortunately, lost his points, got cucked by 1400 of a second. But let me tell you something, Papu, I've done that already. I have been through that not only once, not only twice, but in fact 5 times I got 9th. And 6 times I got 10th. So, I feel you. Masa, Link, Aurel, Spam, Tween, Afi, also dead, and Mada. Not a good step for Mada, actually. Mada has usually been stepping up quite nicely, but this step is not good for him. But yeah, there you have it. I keep my points. 27 points, plus, what is 5th place? 8. 8 points or something. We are cashing in, ladies and gentlemen. This step is cash. Ka-ching! But so have been steps 5 and 4 as well. I always did ka-ching, but then the wallet popped and all the coins fell out. So, step ranking. After the 4th map, we have Pack in the lead and Carl Jr. on 2nd. Boring. Then, Bren and Riolu. Same points. 36. And at this point, with Papu losing his points, this was a good situation for me. No front, but since Papu and me were close, or well, we had, you know, both very good chances of getting out of the bottom 4, it was good to see me with more points right now. What are the hearts next to your names? This is a voting system. It's basically just a popularity vote where Twitch viewers during the live race can cast their vote. They can vote up to 5 times every 5 minutes for their favorite player. And the players with the most votes, they get the most hearts as well. So yeah, good step so far. Kappa, 31. Scrappy, 29. Also a very good performance by Scrappy. He has had some health issues in the last days, so I'm happy that he actually was able to play in first place, and that he also played good. Scrappy with 29, Gwen 23, Papu 19, Evon 17. Finally some solid points for Evon. Afi with 14, Spam 11, Masa 10. Bit disappointing for Spam and Masa, I think, because they're both in the mix for the playoffs, and this step didn't really go to their favor at the moment. But with the upcoming step, or with the upcoming 2 maps coming up, yeah, anything, like the whole scoreboard can turn around. Tristan Blow, thank you for 6 months of tier 1. A bit late, but thank you. And Daflex with 32 months. Holy moly, dude. Thank you very much, man. Fantastic. And no, the hearts, they don't play a role. They're just a visual thing. Alright, map number 5. We have 36 points on the barbecue. And with my 36 points at the moment, I would be out of the bottom 4. With my points, I would be 11th. Playoffs would be top 8, 95 points. So I still have a long way to go. Not impossible though. Mathematically, it's not impossible for me to actually get into playoffs. So at the moment, I am out of the bottom 4, and that is my goal. So these are the temporary rankings after the first 4 maps. Map 5. This is a new map. This map has been discussed very thoroughly. It's called SkiJump. And this map is built by Nadeo. So here are a few things that have happened for those who maybe weren't following the last week a lot in terms of Grand League. This map is built by Nadeo. And this map has been chipped into the map pool, despite Nadeo having hired mappers for the maps. And this map, you will see it is definitely a different style. You can argue whether it's good or not, that is your opinion. I personally thought it's kind of a cool idea. This is the type of map, it's very Nadeo campaign style. I can usually cope with that pretty well. This is a good map. And I had a very good 6-lap PB as well, which was not even 1 second behind world record. So I knew how to go fast, and I also knew how to kind of get through this without too many risks. So I had a lot of confidence on this one. In fact, more confidence than for map 6. Because you will see map 6 is the ultimate butt clench map 2021. Even worse than Arctic Split. Let me tell you that. So this map has been discussed because it just doesn't fit with the style of the previous maps. The identity is the long jump, that's it. It's rather unspectacular, it's not very original. So those are things that people generally pointed out about this map. And while I agree, I still ended up kind of enjoying this one because I just had the pace to make it far and to keep my points. That was my most important thing. I'm gonna play any map they give me, as long as it's good, you know? If it's a bad map for me, obviously, you know, I'm gonna be a bit mad, but I found this one to be not that bad for me. We have another brand new tier 1 subscription, Saurus Diesel, thank you very much. Also following only 3 minutes ago, then instantly chipping in the sub, thank you very much for the brand new sub, welcome and enjoy the emotes. So we're currently going through the warm-up. We can maybe skip this one, go 2x speed, so we can go into the race. And a Bampa Star with 3 months of tier 1. Let's go, man. Very kind, very kind. We got the next hype train going. Really appreciate that, thank you. Also, hello Nick. Hello, hello. Wasn't it supposed to be map 6? I'm actually not sure. Possibly. Also, there was a weird bug. Did you see my name tag? Look. Look. NVD Riolu. Like, it showed my name tag randomly. I didn't even press anything. I didn't even press the name tag button. It just popped up. Look. What the fuck? Thank you, Nandeo. Is it intentional to go a bit to the right in the jump? I mean the direction of the car. That is not intentional. That is something that I chose to do. Because for me, that was my way of controlling my landing and controlling my car midair. But I'm gonna go into detail a bit more. Anyway, here it goes, man. Map 5. At this point, if you get 9th or worse, you will lose every single fucking point. So if I drop, I'm gonna lose 35 points. My chances of the playoffs are over and out. And there's very little chance for me to get out of the bottom 4. So this is very, very, very spicy. Anyway, let's go. Good start. We see Carl Jr.'s extremely focused face on the stadium pillar. That's what you like to see. That is what you like to see. So here in this in the right hander, you have to release, then start a drift really early. I decided to then no slide the left. Oh look, Papu! Hello! Look, there's Papu's eyes lurking. Hello! What's up? Also, what's up? H Blocks with a brand new tier 1 sub as well. So many new subs, I'm actually gonna... Maybe I'm gonna do a backflip. Let's see. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Very, very kind. This was a bit of an iffy section. I really dislike that, that sausage blocks. That sausage block section, we can go into it again. So, drift right, no slide left. You can double drift this with 2 Neo slides, or you can just not drift it at all. Papu, for example, did it without drift. I didn't feel very comfortable doing that, because sometimes you just get accidental slides and then everything is fucked. So, I just decided to drift right and then snap left with just brake. Anyway. Talking about this section as well, you have multiple different approaches for this sausage block section. You can double drift the previous corner combination and then go to the left, inside. Like you go inside and you stay inside. Or you do it like me, or probably some other people. You go outside, then slow down. And the benefit of this outside line is that you can keep more speed initially. And then you wobble towards the middle by slowing down a bit. Otherwise, if you full speed it, you're just gonna fly. So you slow down, go middle, and then in the turn you go inside. That is how I did it, and I was able to get a very good time with this line. As I said, my PB, what was it? 658, low 658, I think, and world record was 657. So I was less than 1 second away from the world record. And yeah, now we have the big jump, and this big jump is extremely problematic for many reasons. One reason is that sometimes when you take the ramp, there is a chance that your car will get some slight tilt. Then you will wobble at the landing and you will flip completely. Due to the high speed and the high momentum, if you land slightly angled, you're screwed. So what I personally did, if I notice that my car is slightly tilted, I release to land early enough for my car to stabilize before the set of bumps is coming. That's probably a lot of input. I'm gonna explain it again in detail. First of all, Eartree, 4 months of Prime. Thank you very much. Resol with brand new tier 1 again. So many subs. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm your wallets, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the tier 1 sub and welcome. Speedself, 300 bits. Bonfires, 6 months of tier 1 and Beasts with 17 months of Prime. Fantastic. So here's the example of a good jump. My car is flat. And with a flat landing, nothing's gonna happen really. You take the bounce, you air brake to land pretty much on the edge between dirt and road, and you just live on your life. And I went from 7th to 3rd. Let's look at it again, because that was a very, very good identity. So, good speed, good low jump. Then here you have to air brake. I air brake like roughly in the middle of the jump, so I get a nosedive into the last booster, which is important, because every pixel of the booster gives you more speed. So you want to touch this early to fly far. I did that very well. So here I had perfect control over my car. Holding my air brake, slightly rotated to the right, so I can get a bit of an angle to the right for a better drift. Perfectly executed from 7th to 3rd. Then we drop. And I did a backflip. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what that was. Seeing this again actually makes me cry. Look at it, man. I just didn't drift enough. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking here. This is definitely my mistake. Like, I don't know what the fuck this was about. I don't know what I was thinking. So, the thing about this section is you drift early. I personally drift to the right with a neo slide to slow down enough, because for this uphill you need to slow down your car a lot, because one of the most important things about this map, not only the identity, the big jump, but also that you don't lose ground contact at the top of the hill. So I drifted, but then I tap braked. I tapped the brake. Instead of just holding it for a longer drift, I tapped it. And this is a mistake, I swear to God, I've never done this in practice. Never ever, because this is such a stupid mistake. This is like running straight into a wall, basically. This is the equivalent of just running head-on into the wall, IRL. And these cones were just placed for people to not just wall hit to slow down their car. This is the only reason. The only reason why these cones are there is because otherwise the strat would be to hit the wall full speed and slow down the car that way. But since wallbanks are forbidden, they put these cones. Yeah? So I hit. And this is fully like my mistake. This is fully my mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I was doing here. I really don't know. It really pisses me off, because this is one of the most stupid mistakes that I've done. I don't know, man. I just don't know at this point. I dropped to 15th place. Spam, I think, what was it? No slide in lap 1 around the hairpin. So we both eliminated our steps. It's just crazy, man. Like, look, I don't want to complain about these wallbang protection thingies, but on the other hand, I don't know, man. What can you say? It's what can you do, man? So this race is over. We can 2-speed this. It's just infuriating, man. It is just infuriating. I actually gained 1 position. Here I flipped again almost. So this is how you do it normally. Look, you slow down and you drift more. But I, stupid as I am, I wanted to minimize my drift to just keep good speed up the hill. Because obviously, You don't want to slow down unnecessarily. You want to slow down just the perfect amount to keep good speed up the hill. So I was too optimistic. I was too greedy. I was too fucking greedy. So it was my mistake. 2.6 seconds behind though. 2.6 seconds behind 8th. So my mindset was, of course, fuck my life. I want this pain to end. But I was also like, okay, maybe people are gonna make a mistake. I was really hoping that other players, as rude as it sounds, but I was really hoping for other players to make a mistake. So let's just keep on watching. At 2x speed. 2.2 seconds. Gaining, losing, it's a back and forth, and that shows that I have the pace to keep up with the others, obviously. Yeah, it's just been bad. So there you have it. Pack actually died as well as Afi. So I got up to 13th place, but I didn't gain anything. I'm still 2.3 seconds behind, and this is lap 5, I think. Like, look, I gained another one, 12th. And this, you know, every position I gained, it kind of put my hopes up high again. But in lap 5, what can happen? 4 people need to like bonk or something. What are the odds? And of course in this big jump, people can flip at the landing, people can do the same mistake like I did, but nothing happened. So last lap and I'm 2.6 seconds down and that's it, man. There's no way. Link died, by the way. There's no fucking way, man. There is no fucking way. Again. Look, 11th. So I'm gaining, capitalizing on other people's mistake. But yeah, I think I've also done a mistake by waiting for my respawn. When I crashed, I didn't respawn for so long. So there you have it. I finished with a 7.04. And I'm 11th. There we go. I have lost all my points. This means I'm not going to make it into the playoffs, and I'm most likely not going to make it out of the bottom 4. Very nice. Gwen wins with a 6.59. That is a good time. Definitely respect for that. Then we have Tween, who finally scored. He only got 8 on his account, so finally he got some points. Tween had a good time in 6th lap as well in time attack, so he was definitely ready for this. Bren, Papu keeping his points as well. Then we have Scrappy, Kappa, Evan, Carl all keeping their points. And yeah, biggest loser here, me and Pack. Minus 36 and minus 49. So that's it. Terrible. And yeah, once again, this is my mistake. I just completely brain farted. I don't know, man. I really can't explain what I was thinking there. It was unnecessary risk. Trying something that just wasn't necessary. It goes on my account, you know, it's not game's fault. Of course you can argue about how useful these pylons really are, but man. You know, alternatively, they could just, I don't know, do something else against these wall banks. You know, this is the funny thing. Before we go to the next map, let me actually go on a little hypocritical thing here in Trackmania. So, wall banks were a thing in competitive play until in Trackmania Grand League they realized wall banks are too random because they can sometimes cause unpredictable outcome. And we've seen that, for example, in Season 1 or even in Season 0, players wallbanked and they got sent to Mars, even though they did nothing wrong. So what they came up with, I mean Nadeo, is they add acceleration penalty, which means when you hit a wall, you get acceleration penalized. You lose the ability to 100% accelerate for like more than 1 second. Thinking, holy shit, That is the fix. Nobody is ever gonna wallbang. So, what do you see on a campaign map? Winter 19, there's a wall slide even. There's a hairpin and you slide the outside of the wall on that map. So, you can clearly see that the acceleration penalty doesn't work. You cannot... it doesn't work. So, instead of like adjusting this acceleration penalty or adjusting the maps in a way that they're, you know, not beneficial for wallbangs in any way, they add pylons as an easy way out. Pylons that are on the racing line, pylons that are punishing the player the way that it punished me. Of course, I could have avoided them, but still, I'm salty, so let me complain. And you have literally the fragile block. There is a fragile block which damages your car when you hit the wall, and it's not used. What do you mean? I don't get it. They could have put... Let's actually go back. Let's actually go back. They could have put a fragile block right here in front of the checkpoint. Because the fragile otherwise would have played absolutely no impact. Would have had no impact on the car or on the line. Because you have to avoid the jump either way. But no, we don't have that. Fragile block is cancelled. Yeah, anyway. We're going to map 6. I have lost all my points. Fragile texture is used by the mod. Mappers weren't allowed to use it. What can I say, man? What? The only thing I can say about that is XD. They did. Oh, actually, a correction by HTMH. Wrong, it was decided that fragile would never be used. So I was allowed to use that for the mod. Let's play back this clip here. We have a fantastic car skin here. Volvic. By Massa. Very nice. I don't know. So we're coming to map 6, and I promised you this map is a butt clencher. This identity is a butt clench extreme. We have SlowmoForest. This is the shortest map of the entire Grand League season, and there's a few things that are very special about this map. A, it's night mood, which I think is a really cool thing, because it's giving you the vibes that it's like the final, it's the last one. You know, I like that it's at night, actually. I do dig that. Then we have, otherwise, a very clean, very easy map built by Kisla. Kisla has built Halfpipe. No, yes, but Halfpipe was in the previous season. He built Gap Jumper. So he built Gap Jumper, which is a good map as well. So Kisla definitely knowing what he's building. Tech, not my preferred style, but I was able to vibe with this map. My personal best was like 3/10 away from the world record here, so, you know, we good. This is a good map. This map took me quite some time to learn, but I was able to learn it. I was able to learn it. And the identity is something I have to admit is a good one for me. Because similarly to Arctic Split, where I said identities that are very precision based do favor me, we have this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this beautiful identity. Slow motion through trees, and you have to be like 1 nanometer to every tree. I love that. Really good. Really good. So I found this map quite interesting. However, I was also very afraid of it because a mistake can easily slip through, especially since it's map 6, especially when you have points under your back. Of course, now I have 4 points. Who fucking cares, right? But imagine if I kept my points and I would go into this map with more than 40 points. I'ma tell you, my BPM heartbeat would be at 500, probably. It would be at 500. So, we're going into the last lap. I was very salty at this point. I just wanted to get this over with. So I decided to go all in. All in, full blast, ideally full speed the identity in every lap, and maybe get a few points. Because everything was lost, I can't get into the playoffs, I can't possibly, or at least not with, unless I get like 5 miracles, I can't get out of the bottom 4 anyway. So here we go, with the final map of Trackmania Grand League Season 3 Group Stage. Let's go. What is actually your favorite style? Hard to say. I mean, I generally like maps that have mix, you know, a mix of everything. Bit of road, bit of dirt, bit of ice, you know, I like that a lot. But if you were to narrow it down to only one style, I say dirt. So on this map, I really wasn't sure what to expect from people. Because this identity is fucking difficult. It is ridiculously hard. Especially in a pressure situation. So I wasn't sure. People, of course, it's an easy map. And it's a short map. So it's easier to learn. And the rest of the map is also quite easy. Yeah? So it's not a difficult map to really get through. Of course, it's difficult to push the drifts and really optimize them and keep the speed. But that's kind of the thing about it. I expected very high competition, but I also somewhat expected that people are gonna crash a lot in the tree section. So let's see how it goes. Never get to watch you on Twitch. Hi from Australia. Hello Warhead, welcome to the stream. Lap number 2. So in the ideal case, you want to full speed through the trees. In some laps, I think I released a little bit. But most of the time I got through with a lot of speed. And in the ideal case, you land right on the reset block, which resets the slow motion. And lets you travel at normal speed again. Massa. Ay ay ay. So we're sitting on 6th place. Massa in the lead. I like that. And despite me having had a few safe drifts, especially in the previous lap, I'm happy with 5th, you know. But also on the other hand, it makes me sad. Because this could have been a humongous step for me. 4th. And we go through it again. Beautifully done. And from 4th, we go to 4th. Wow, Tim, thank you very much. Alright, next lap. So this map, of course, very short. The world record was, what was it, 5:41 or something? So very, very short map. This one is over in one blink of an eye. And we're chilling, we're cruising on 4th place. I'm usually not the fastest player on tech, but what makes this map good for me is of course the identity, because I'm very good at precision. And I was confident in it. Next one, here we go. Bit of a different approach. I think I released here again. But I landed on the reset and we're 2nd. Yeah? Hello, 2nd place. So again, I'm able to like fucking win a map. Again. Like, look how far I've come actually. Look how far I've come. You know, first step was a bit wonky. Didn't really have the pace. And now I'm literally able to win maps. So, I've come a long way and I'm very happy about that. However, now, yeah. I can be happy about this, but also it's not the real deal. It's not the real deal. Kappa's leading, and I can actually not imagine how it is to play this identity with keyboard. That must be very hard as well, because it's even harder to be precise with keyboard. Like, holy moly. Okay, identity number 5. I'm first! Beep, 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 beep. But I got a landing bug, so I'm not first anymore. Look at this. Do you see this? Look at it in, like, normal, without pausing. Look. I'm first with exactly 0,000 on Kappa. And now I'm +3 behind. So I got a landing bug because I landed on the edge. I landed on the edge of the reset block. Look where my tire is. I landed like exactly on the connection point. So this landing bug could have lost me worse. I've had it exactly one time ever in practice, and of course it happens in the match as well, smiley face. So the second landing bug for me in Trackmania Grand League. But we're still up front, you know, we're still in the battle here. We see Kappa, we see Papu. Pretty good. Second place. Third place. I'm very happy with this. All that I had to do is get through this one more time. Very safe drift here, nice and wide. Through the grass we go. Get close to the inside, then drag it to the outside. Small speed slide at the exit. I was like half a second behind Papu, so there's no way for me to win this race anymore, even if I risk. And through the final time we go, I was like, fuck yeah, I made it, I made it, I made it. And we're finishing on 3rd place in the final map. Papu winning with a 5:44, which is a solid time for, you know, given the circumstances. And you have to say, Papu being super unlucky, now he actually went balls in, deep into this step, and it paid off. So really, really well done by Papu. So much pressure on his shoulders, and then he snacks in 22 points by winning the race and by having the fastest lap time of 56.23, which is also a good lap time, but I've had 56 zeros, so that's that. Afi on 2nd, then I get 3rd, Carl Jr. on 4th, Spam on 5th, Gwen on 6th, Aurel on 7th, and Bren on 8th. And then there's the point losers. Kappa has unfortunately dropped down here as well. So after having led the race, he's down to 11th. That hurts a lot, man. That hurts a lot. And if we take a look at the gaps, Scrappy bonked really hard apparently, Pack as well, Evon, Tween, Link, all with bigger mistakes. And the other players, also Bren, oh my god, Bren. Bren lost his shit as well. Fuck. A lot of mistakes here. The top 8 was very close, only 2.5 seconds, so everyone in the top 8, even Massa, look at Massa, man. I feel you, Massa. 9th place, 0.3 away. I know how that feels. I know how that feels. And yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The step is over. Carl Jr. wins it with 56 points, Papu and Gwen 51. And with the 51 points that Papu has received, he made it in the playoffs. So now let that sink in. I had 36 points. If I kept my points on map 5 and do this good on this map, then I would be in the playoffs. So this was my chance, and the pylons ruined it for me. I'm still getting 5th here in this step with 16 points, which is funnily enough my best step in this entire season with 16 points. Very nice. It is just infuriating. So overall, we see the standings. I'm in the bottom 4. I will have to play the head-to-head, which is a 1v1 against Link to determine who stays in the league and who is gonna drop out. So I will have to face Link in 2 weeks or something. The 21st of March. There's gonna be the head-to-head, and I will be facing it off against Link. Scrappy will play against Evon, So it is 13th versus 16th, and then also 14th against 15th in a 1v1 with best of 5 on 5 maps that have just been released as well. I'm going to show you in a minute. But yeah, I am very sad that I was here. I don't think I deserve to be here. My average position in this entire league was 5, so I was 5th in average. And without point loss, I would be 7th or 8th. So this season has been absolutely atrocious. Very sad. What happens to the loser? The loser drops out of the Grand League and will most likely lose their contract with the org, which means you are unemployed, basically. Which is not so good. So 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, they will be spared from anything. However, there's gonna be a format called the Final Chance. And in the Final Chance, players from 9 to 16 will have one more chance to qualify into the playoffs. So there's gonna be 9 players in the playoffs, the top 8, and 1 guy from the right half. So I still have the chance to make it into the playoffs, but it's gonna be very difficult. Because the seeding also plays a role. And with me being on 13th, I will have a bit of a disadvantage going into the Final Chance. But we'll see how that goes. So Spam, 3 points away from not making it. Papu has basically sniped it. So yeah, very close. Look at this. 89 Bren, 88 Papu, 85 Spam, 82 Masa. So between 4 players, there is 7 points across 6 weeks of intense Trackmania gameplay. That is just mental. A really, really close season this time. And it sucks knowing that I could have been, you know, up there at the top if, you know, if I didn't make all these mistakes. How do you get a disadvantage? I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna open the rulebook for you so I can actually explain how everything works for you. But yeah, that is it for Trackmania Grand League. Carl Jr. wins the group stage with 369 points. And with this, I think he's gonna get... How much money is Carl gonna win? Like 3k or something. He's gonna win a lot of money. Pack, 275. Aurel gets 3rd. Very good performance by Aurel and Afi. They have really capitalized from this point system and played exactly how the point system suggests them to play. That is really cool. Gwen recovered very nicely. He was very far back in the first steps, but then he was finally able to get his head together and perform the way that people expected him to perform. So Gwen is in. Mada in his rookie season played solid and did what he did. Brandon Papu also in. And yeah, that's that. So I am, unfortunately, not able to take a break. It is gonna keep going. It is gonna keep going. Give me a short minute here. I will show you the rulebook. So we can quickly take a gander at how everything is gonna go. Because I think the majority of you don't actually know how everything works. We have commands in the chat as well, which you can consult. But I have to be honest, I need to understand this myself as well. So let's actually take a quick look here at how everything works out. So I think we gotta go on page, what was it, 24. Yeah, okay. So we have the Open Grand League, that is not of our relevance here. But here's the head-to-head. And the head-to-head is gonna be Sunday 21st. You have to mark that in your calendars. So 21st of March, starting from 6 PM CET, there's gonna be 1 match per hour. 1v1 per hour. The first 1v1 will be Open Grand League winner of the group stage against Open Grand League 4th player. Or no, from OGL Super Final, that's another thing. But what's relevant for the Grand League is head-to-head 2 and head-to-head 4. So TMGL regular season 13th place will play against TMGL regular season 16th. So I will play against Link in a format that looks that looks like this. Best of 5, there's a map pool of 5 maps with 2 laps each. So every map is not going to be played 6 laps, but 2 laps only. And each map will be played in a best of 7. So a max of 7 rounds and a minimum of 4. So if one player wins 4 out of these 2 lappers against the other opponent, we go to the next map. And it's all about map wins. So you have to win maps. So which means in the best of 5, I need to win 3 maps against Link and I will keep my spot in the Grand League. Or Link wins 3 maps against me and he's gonna keep his spot and I will become unemployed. So that is what's at stake here. Respawn is allowed, hide opponents is allowed. You can win by KO, which means you just... the other guy doesn't finish. Finish timeout 10 seconds, warm up 10 seconds. That's that. And then the same day, but later, you will have a match between 14th and 15th, which is Scrappy versus Evon. Also a very exciting match. So that is what's going to be coming up for me personally. Then we also have the final chance. And the final chance is something that has been introduced very recently. And the final chance, as I said, will be played between all the players in the right half of the scoreboard, so 9th to 16th. And it is going to be played out the same way like the playoffs, aka the finals. All 8, in this case 9 players, will start at the same time on a 2-lapper again, and you need to win a 2-lapper to become finalist. And once you're finalist, you need to get first again to seal it, to, you know, move on to the next round. And it's always like 2 players getting eliminated. So we play the same thing over and over again until you have a 1v1 left. And the player who wins the 1v1 in the final chance will make it into the playoffs. And the playoffs is basically the same thing again. And the player who makes it through to the playoffs via the final chance will join that race later. So he is not gonna get the chance to like drive against all the other 8 playoff qualification players, but he has to wait it out a little bit. So that's the penalty basically for not making it into the playoffs immediately, but qualifying through the second chance. So you don't start on the same grounds. It is very complicated indeed, but I hope I explained it kinda well. And then we have the finals. As I said, you play 2 lappers again with 5 maps and 3 rounds per track. And the map pool, to end off this whole thing, the map pool, ladies and gentlemen, is looking as follows. Map 1, Slalom. Ladies and gentlemen, Slalom, PogChamp. Slalom was a fantastic map for me. I'm very good on Slalom. Slalom, okay hand. So, very nice. Very good that we have Slalom. Then we have Arctic Split. I think I don't have to say anything about this. This is a good map for me. Reversing. At the moment, puke emoji, but I think I can learn reversing again. Because with the new backwards landing strat, which I haven't bothered learning so far, I think I can make good damage on reversing as well. Then we have Frozen Fridges, which is also a map I did very well on, so this is another fantastic map for me. And last but not least, Bicycle, which is an average map for me. I didn't do phenomenally here, but I'm also not terrible, so I think I can, you know, maybe make something happen here on Bicycle as well. So these are the 5 maps that will be played in head-to-head, in Open Grand League Final, in the playoffs, in second chance, last chance, final chance, in everything that's going to be coming up now. You will see these 5 maps, which have been picked by Nadeo and also by players' feedback. So we have also had a saying in these maps. So overall, I'm very happy with these maps. And seeing these maps, I'm not too worried about potentially losing out this 1v1. I'm confident. However, anything can happen, of course. And maybe I'll do good in the final chance as well. I think I have good pace to, you know, get far in final chance as well. Not saying I'm gonna get into the playoffs. I think I will need a very good day for that, but yeah, who knows? Who knows, who knows? Anyway, that will be it for Trackmania Grandos Ligos. I am very sad. I am very dead inside. This season has gotten the worst out of me, to be honest. Once again, I'm trying to view it from the positives and just acknowledge that I have improved my gameplay a lot throughout these steps. I've increased my pace, I've increased my confidence, I've increased basically everything. It's just sad that the outcome has been like this, because in every step I've just made one mistake. And this mistake cost me everything. It just sucks. Luckily, the point system is going to change for the next season. That is gonna be playing into my cards, I think, because the new system is gonna favor players like me a lot, which is great. However, we'll have to see. Overall, I'm happy, you know, but sad. More sad than happy, I have to be honest. This has really pissing me off. It's been really fucking with my mood and robbing my motivation for Trackmania. But yeah, what can you do? You gotta still keep fighting, keep the head up high. And having another step like this, you know, it proves that I have what it takes to compete with the best, and that's just what I'm trying to keep in my head, even though points are shit. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the group stage. Thanks for supporting, and I'll make sure to provide a good step and some good racing in the upcoming events. I will have to play Final Chance, of course, and I will have to play the 1v1 against Link. So, yeah. And then after that, Grand League is done until the next season, which is going to be somewhere in fall. Anyway, GG's, I suppose.